In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college football games happening on November 16, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college football games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Tennessee versus Georgia. The number 6 Tennessee Volunteers, currently riding a 4-game winning streak, are working hard to solidify their position in the college football playoff picture. This week, they head to Athens, Georgia, for a high-stakes showdown against the number 11 Georgia Bulldogs. The Bulldogs, meanwhile, are coming off a tough loss to Ole Miss, a defeat that has shaken their CFP hopes. Ranked as the first team out, Georgia is fighting to keep their playoff ambitions alive. This game also has significant implications for the Southeastern Conference standings, with Tennessee and Texas Agricultural and Mechanical currently tied at the top with a 5-1 conference record, while Georgia sits 4th at 5-2. The Southeastern Conference has been nothing short of thrilling this season, and this upcoming Tennessee-Georgia matchup promises to be another exciting chapter. After their road loss to Ole Miss, the Bulldogs are eager to return home and restore their confidence. Although Georgia has managed to win 7 straight games against Tennessee in recent years, this Tennessee team poses a unique challenge. With strong momentum and a hunger to prove themselves, the Volunteers are determined to disrupt Georgia's streak and assert their dominance in 2024. The outcome of this game could largely hinge on the health and availability of key Tennessee players. Injuries to important players like quarterback Nico Iamaleava and running back Dylan Sampson add an element of unpredictability to this game. Should both players be healthy and cleared to play, Tennessee's chances to cover the spread seem strong. Even as the visiting team, the Volunteers boast a dynamic offense featuring one of the nation's best offensive lines, which creates ample opportunities for their mobile quarterback and opens up the run game. Their offensive line's strength allows them to control the pace of the game, setting up big plays downfield. Georgia's quarterback, Carson Beck, has had a solid season, but costly interceptions at critical moments have hurt the team in some of their biggest games. This issue was especially evident in their recent matchup against Ole Miss, where turnovers, including 4 fumbles, compounded their struggles. As a result, Georgia currently ranks 99th in turnover margin, with a concerning average of -0.5 per game. These turnovers could be a decisive factor once again, especially against a strong Tennessee defense. Defensive prowess is expected to be a major factor in this game, and Tennessee's defense may hold the advantage. The Volunteers' defense has been formidable all season, allowing an average of just 13 points per game. In their only loss to Arkansas, they gave up a season-high 19 points, which is still low by Southeastern Conference standards. This defensive consistency is even more impressive given the high-scoring nature of the Southeastern Conference, and it positions Tennessee well for a close, hard-fought contest against Georgia. Oddsmakers seem to have placed a premium on Georgia, but the Bulldogs have frequently underperformed against the spread, posting a disappointing 2-7 record. There may be some injury concerns factored into the current line, but with CFP implications on the line, it's likely that key Tennessee players will make an effort to play. Even if Iamaleava is unavailable, Tennessee's offense, led by its strong running game, can still generate points, and their defense remains a formidable force. Georgia enters as the favorite, partly due to the urgency of their playoff hopes, but motivation alone may not be enough to overcome a determined Tennessee team. The Bulldogs were also in a must-win situation against Ole Miss last week and still suffered an 18-point loss. The current line appears inflated, which gives Tennessee an edge as a value pick. As one of the best teams in the nation, Tennessee has only one loss this season, a narrow 5-point defeat. Earlier this year, they faced a ranked opponent in number 15 Oklahoma and emerged with a 10-point victory. The betting line might also be influenced by concerns around Iamaleava's availability, yet recent reports suggest he will play without limitations. Tennessee has already defeated Alabama this season, a team that outperformed Georgia and shined in their game against LSU. Georgia's quarterback, Beck, has seen his draft stock dip for good reason, and Tennessee ranks 5th nationally in scoring defense. While Georgia is a tough team to beat at home, this line seems to be giving them more credit than their recent performances warrant. Georgia has not lived up to expectations this season, narrowly defeating a Florida team led by backup players and getting handily beaten by Ole Miss. Tennessee, on the other hand, is one of the Southeastern Conference's most balanced teams, with both an elite defense and a high-powered offense. It's rare to see Tennessee as a double-digit underdog, a status they haven't held since November 2021. Given these factors, the Tennessee Volunteers to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Both teams have leaned toward lower-scoring games this season, largely due to their strong defenses. Last week's Ole Miss-Georgia game is an example, finishing at 28-10. Well under the 55.5 total. Oddsmakers have acknowledged the defensive strength of both teams, setting this game's total in the 40s, a rarity. The last time Tennessee and Georgia saw a total this low was against Kentucky. Tennessee barely surpassed the 45.5 total with a 28-18 win, while Georgia went under it in their 13-12 victory. Expect both defenses to limit the opposing offense's rhythm, leading to stalled drives and a lower-scoring affair. Georgia's offense has been inconsistent on third downs, converting just 38% of the time, while Tennessee's defense excels at shutting down opponents on third down, allowing a success rate of only 26.3%. Georgia's defense is similarly strong, with opponents converting third downs just 28.44% of the time. In primetime Southeastern Conference matchups, defenses often shine, and this game should be no exception. Carson Beck has posted decent stats, but the expectations for him were much higher. This season, he has thrown 12 interceptions and struggled with mobility, recording only 39 rushing yards. Tennessee's pass defense, ranked 15th in the nation, will likely contain Beck's production as effectively as Ole Miss did. Beck had an interception and no touchdowns last week, which, along with his demeanor on the bench, has raised questions about his focus. Tennessee's game plan will include protecting Iamaleava, who left the last game with concussion-like symptoms. If Tennessee wins, they face even bigger games ahead, so they'll aim to keep Iamaleava healthy. In the meantime, they'll lean heavily on Sampson, the Southeastern Conference's leading rusher, to control the clock and sustain long drives. This game could feature a lot of back and forth, but ultimately, a low-scoring result seems likely. Given the defensive strength on both sides, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Oregon versus Wisconsin. This Saturday night, college football fans will be treated to an exciting Big Ten matchup in the Badger State as two teams jockeying for better postseason prospects face off. The top-ranked Oregon Ducks will be hitting the road to take on the Wisconsin Badgers under the lights. Last week, Oregon delivered a decisive 39-18 home victory over Maryland, though they fell short of covering the line as a 24-point favorite. Meanwhile, Wisconsin comes off a bye week, their last game being a lopsided 42-10 defeat on the road against Iowa on November 2nd, where they also failed to cover as a 2.5-point underdog. The series between these two programs is currently tied at 3 wins apiece, though the Ducks have claimed victory in each of the last 3 meetings. Their most recent face-off was a nail-biting 28-27 Oregon win in the Rose Bowl on January 1, 2020. Wisconsin has faced significant challenges this season, struggling to find consistency following the loss of their original starting quarterback and running back, which has hampered their offensive production. This season marks the second consecutive year the Badgers have turned to the transfer portal for a quarterback to fit Phil Longo's air raid system, only to see limited success. Last season's transfer quarterback, Tanner Mordecai, missed time due to a hand injury that required surgery. Oregon, on the other hand, has been unstoppable, slicing through opponents en route to a 10-0 record, with 8 of those wins decided by double-digit margins. With an offense as explosive as Oregon's, it will be difficult for Wisconsin to keep up, given their own offensive struggles. Though the Badgers' defense may slow the Ducks down for a while, it's only a matter of time before Oregon's offense finds its rhythm and puts points on the board. While Wisconsin will surely be fired up to compete under the primetime spotlight at home, they simply lack the offensive firepower to match Oregon. Wisconsin ranks 81st in total offense and 92nd in scoring offense, showing just how much they struggle to generate points. Additionally, they are 0-2 against the spread as a double-digit underdog this season, with an average loss margin of 24.5 points in those games. Oregon, meanwhile, is in dominant form on both offense and defense, and Wisconsin likely won't be able to keep pace. While Wisconsin may put up some resistance, the reality is that Oregon just needs a win to to maintain their hold on a Big Ten title game spot, and so far, they've shown no signs of easing up in conference play. Given the circumstances, the Oregon Ducks to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Looking at the total points line, which is set in the 50s, it raises some questions, especially given Wisconsin's track record at Camp Randall Stadium. For the Badgers to have any chance of keeping this game close, they'll need a strong showing from their defense. Wisconsin's defense has performed reasonably well, allowing just 22.5 points per game, ranking 39th nationally. With the game taking place in Madison, there's reason to believe Wisconsin's defense can hold Oregon to around 28 to 31 points. On the offensive side, Wisconsin has struggled mightily, averaging 25 points per game, placing them at 94th in the nation. However, that average is somewhat deceptive, as Wisconsin has only managed an average of 15 points per game in 3 matchups against ranked opponents this season. Facing Oregon's stout defense, which allows just 16 points per game and ranks 9th nationally, Wisconsin is likely to find it difficult to move the ball and put points on the board throughout the night. Despite their reputation as an offensive powerhouse, Oregon has stayed under the total points line in 6 of their 10 games this season. On the road, the Ducks have split their 4 games in relation to the total, although they did surpass the line in their recent road game against Michigan. Wisconsin, meanwhile, has seen the over hit in 5 of their 9 games this season. At home, the Badgers have stayed under the line in 3 of 5 games, only going over in a blowout loss to Alabama and a convincing win over Purdue. Although Wisconsin's defense may limit Oregon's scoring slightly, Wisconsin's offense likely won't be able to produce enough points to push the game over the total. Therefore, under the projected total is our full game total pick. New Mexico State versus Texas Agricultural and Mechanical. It's a non-conference tilt on the gridiron as a member of Conference USA travels to take on a team from the Southeastern Conference as they tangle in the Lone Star State. The New Mexico State Aggies are on the road as they travel to face off with the number 15 Texas Agricultural and Mechanical Aggies Saturday night. New Mexico State fell 41-28 at home to Western Kentucky in their previous contest last Saturday, covering the line as an 18-point underdog. Texas Agricultural and Mechanical comes in off a bye last week. They were hammered 44-20 by South Carolina on the road on November 2nd, losing outright as a 3-point favorite. These teams have met just once previously as Football Bowl subdivision opponents, with Texas Agricultural and Mechanical rolling to a 52-10 home triumph in that matchup on October 29, 2016. Texas Agricultural and Mechanical is undoubtedly the better team in this game. New Mexico State also ranks 116th in passing, and Texas Agricultural and Mechanical will exploit that on their end. Texas Agricultural and Mechanical rank 39th in rush defense, which is where New Mexico State likes to play well. The home side will stop them early and take the momentum. New Mexico State is also 0-4 against the spread when they have played at home. This is a terrible spot for New Mexico State when you get right down to brass tacks. The Aggies are on the road, where they are 0-4 on the year and haven't had margin of less than 20 points in those contests. They're facing a ranked power conference team that is steamed after getting pummeled in their previous game. If that wasn't bad enough, throw in that Texas Agricultural and Mechanical comes in off a bye, giving them 2 weeks to prepare to dismantle New Mexico State on both sides of the ball. I do think the home team can take care of business here thanks to their ability to play defense and their success in the passing game with new quarterback Marcel Reed. Expect to see a lot of the backups in the second half of this game as Texas Agricultural and Mechanical comes out blazing en route to a blowout win. So the Texas Agricultural and Mechanical Aggies to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. New Mexico State has seen the over go 6-2-1 in their 9 games this season. The Aggies have seen the over post a 3-1 mark in their 4 road games this season, with the lone under coming in a 31-11 loss to Sam Houston State back on September 21st. Texas Agricultural and Mechanical has gone over the number in 6 of their 9 games this season. They have gone over the number in 3 of their 5 home games this season, including their last 2. New Mexico State gives up points by the truckload. We might only need 7 from them to push this past the mark. Take the over as a result, and don't be surprised if Texas Agricultural and Mechanical puts up a 50-burger on their own. The offense will be the star of the show in this game. New Mexico State's defense ranks close to last in the country in almost every category. The over is 3-2 when Texas Agricultural and Mechanical has played at home. The over is also 3-1 when New Mexico State has played on the road. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.